It is time to keep the tradition going with Spritz cookies. That wreath is truly a bouquet of color. Look at all the choices there, and it's a tradition for you, right? Your family?
Absolutely. We used to make them every Christmas, but you know, you don't have to make them just at Christmas time.
You have a lot of designs for other holidays and just a basic flower.
It depends on what type of cookie press that you have, but each of the cookie presses will have different types of designs. But let me show you how to load just a basic cookie press. You want to pull, if it has teeth, you want to pull it away from your handle so that you can actually pull it up. I like to roll my dough in a sausage and stick it in. Now I just have a little bit of dough here. I would actually put more in here if I were going to really press out of this one.
Is this just sugar cookie dough? Is that what that is?
It's Spritz cookie dough.
Spritz
it
cookie
is
dough,
different.
So it has a special? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And then when you put your disc in, this particular model says this side out. So you want to make sure you put your disc in and you seat it so it's down in there and it's firm, and then you just screw on your base. Then you need to turn your teeth around so they'll engage, so you begin to get it to
move it
come
into
down.
place. Okay.
Okay. Now I have some preloaded here, and when you're getting ready to press them out,
okay,
turn my teeth there, you just press and you're actually bringing it down so that it engages and it's pressing your dough.
Well,
now most of the time your first cookie isn't your most perfect cookie because you know, you're kind of getting into a rhythm.
So one little pump and it
one
will
pump.
come right down.
Because you can see my first two aren't perfect, but you know what? They're still very good and very tasty.
And these freeze really well also, right? So you can make them ahead of time and pull them out. And now what flavors do you recommend? What's good?
Almond, butter works real well. Now this actually...
Is this pumpkin?
This is a pumpkin.
Okay.
And you just press down.
There you go.
And you could actually flavor it with some cinnamon and sugar. And if one doesn't work, you know, we're not going to throw this dough away. We're actually going to use it again because we can reload it in the
or you could
container.
Eat it. You know,
well,
you can't eat it. So we do have lots of flavors to choose from, a lot of varieties.
There's coconut, there's pineapple, there's lemon, there's orange. And as you can see, just about every time, don't be disappointed if your first cookie isn't exactly the way you want it.
Lots of colors, lots of flavors, a big variety, and then all the different shapes that you have to choose from. And you know what, I could see this for a gift exchange if you go to a cookie party and exchange recipes with someone else for these cookies.
Here's the ribbon one. You just turn it sideways and you just actually pump it out like that.
Right.
And then you can have a spatula or a knife and you do it like that.
And they bake up and you can even put jelly on them or something and make it into a sandwich.
Now, I would use the Spritz recipe that we have on the website because if you don't, and you buy the refrigerated dough, some of the refrigerated doughs have too much leavening in there, and you can see we have some designs here, and they will actually bake out with the leavening. So I prefer not to use the refrigerated dough at all.
And how would you decorate these?
Well, there's so many different ways that you can decorate these. If it's springtime, you could stick a little chocolate chip in there and make a black-eyed Susan. You could actually stick some nuts in there. I've got pecans and almonds. Now you've got some colored sugars too. All of these are okay to decorate before you put them in the oven. Even the colored sugar? Oh, absolutely.
What happens to colored sugar, whether you put it on beforehand or after?
If you put it on beforehand, it just bakes into the cookie. You still get the definition with it. But if you put it on after, you're going to have to add some icing because it's not going to stick.
And nuts, it's okay to put the nuts on?
Absolutely.
They bake well.
I like toasted nuts. Actually, when you bake nuts, you get a flavor enhancement.
And how long would you bake these, Nancy?
Probably about 8 to 10 minutes. And the other thing is make sure you have the common shapes on your baking sheet when you put it in the oven, so that way they do bake.
Will they grow a little bit, or do they hold their shape?
They'll pop up a little bit, but they don't have a whole lot of leavening in them.
Okay.
And that's why they'll be able to retain their shape. Let's see.
Would you like me to hold those?
No, I can do it.
Okay.
I'm an adept kitchen person. When you bring them out, I would put them directly on a cooling grid, and then I would go ahead and take them off and put them on a cooling grid and get them off the
so the edges
cookie
don't
sheet
brown.
so the edges don't extra brown. Now these freeze really well, so you could make a whole bunch up at one time.
So they have a little butter in them, and those would be great to put them on a plate, tie them up with a bow, maybe a bag of tea or a sugar stick for a teacher's gift or a welcome to the neighborhood. We have some other options over here. I can smell the cheese. if you're not into sugar, look at all of these. Now, I smell pumpkin somewhere. I don't know if this is the pumpkin. That smells wonderful.
You can make savory crackers with them, and they're so yummy. We've got pumpkin there, we've got barbecue, and then we've got 2 different flavors of cheese. And then the ribbon candy, the ribbon cookies next to it have been pressed out.
And look at these, and you've got the sprinkled powdered sugar on the top.
And that's a very nice presentation. And that's like I did that last cookie that I put on the tray. And you just put them together with a little bit of preserves in between. It makes a very elegant presentation. So there's a lot of uses for the Spritz cookies. And you know what? If they're not a family tradition yet, you should make them one.
You know, at our house, we do the church windows, the stained glass church windows with the chocolate and the marshmallows that do. And it is something nice that we do together as a family every year. When you are planning for this, do you need to get this out and let it set up ahead of time, the cookie dough, or do you just take it right out of the refrigerator?
Usually just make it and just start pressing right then.
Oh, great.
You could refrigerate it, but you'd want to bring it back to room temperature if you made it ahead, and then we're going to press them out. Because if it's too cold, it's more difficult to press them out.
So they're